Hello everyone, Storm Whirlwind here. Today we'll be doing a tropical update live stream here today. Basically, I have an idea in mind to keep up updates like this. It's that every tropical update will be in a live stream because it happens. Like right now, we got Dorian. We actually do have a tropical storm going on in the Gulf of Mexico. I think there's a tropical depression somewhere. I think they've downgraded that. But welcome to anybody who's going to be joining the live stream. I'll be acting like this is a video to keep in mind of that. Trying to get things done very quick. Still got a couple more videos to do. So let's go ahead and get started with the National Hurricane Center. And I'm not kidding, the Atlantic is getting very active. We got Dorian, of course, that is died down. It was stationary earlier last night. It's moving 5 miles per hour, moving northwest, that's an indication that it's moving away from, well, it's actually moving closer to Florida, I should say. And that's a little bit concerning for storm surge, maybe even some heavy rain. Wind is going to be the threat for that's going down. Right now it's at a Category 2 hurricane, where it's been sitting in the same place for a long period of time, has really cooled down the waters, and it's kind of killing itself for that. If it was moving quicker, we'll probably have some issues. That actually became a Category 5 hurricane over the Bahamas. It is terrible down there. I've seen video footage from Twitter. It's just absolutely terrible. We got a new system here. It is Ferdinand, I guess. It's 40 miles per hour, moving west at 7 miles an hour. That is moving right towards Mexico, and eventually we may see a turn occurring heading into Texas. We're going to see what happens there. We had this one right here. It's a 50%. I think it was a tropical depression before, but now it's just back to a disturbance. We got this disturbance way over here. It's got a pretty good chance of becoming some type of tropical cyclone, and that is going to be not affecting the United States. It will eventually turn north, but there is something coming out of Africa that we really got to keep an eye on, and that's the concerning thing. I'll show you the Euro GFS. It does not have an occurred storm information. But let's click on this. So here's Dorian. You can see the track here. We got South Carolina have hurricane warnings at this point. They're actually evacuating people along the counties along the coast. North Carolina, all of the coast is in a hurricane watch. We got a tropical storm warning for most of Georgia. We got our hurricane warnings going along parts of the Florida East Coast. As you can see here, this thing will be starting to fly. It's going to act like a nor'easter, but it's actually not. And it could hit up in Canada as a hurricane. We'll see about that. Here's the map for it, for tropical storm winds there. See, there's a pretty good chance there. So let's move back. Let's go to Ferdinand. Here is its track. It's right now a tropical storm. It's showing a depression, but we're seeing this getting upgraded to tropical storm. We already do have tropical storm warnings issued there. You can see the turnings happening at some point late Thursday morning there. And it's not going to be that bad, to be honest with you. So here we go, current storm information. Let's go take a look at the intensity forecast. You can see it's now in a strong Category 2. You can see a couple of models are showing that it may gain back strength to a Category 3. That is possible. We got a good chunk of them staying in Category 2. It then finally dies out into a tropical storm on hour 120 or 132. That's probably when it reaches near Canada there. Let's look on to some other models let's take a look at the CMC ensemble. So you can see there's a lot of red here going on. Very little pressure there. Mostly between 960 and 970. That's not too bad there. But we still have models that could fall on the coast of the Carolinas. So you have to keep an eye on this. We may start to see evacuation orders going on the North Carolina coast there. And we also do have Virginia in a state of emergency as well. I just found that out this morning. Let's go to the GFS ensemble. So you can see it's taking this thing into Europe. Sometimes this happens here. We usually only had nor'easters. It becomes a pretty good system and heads right towards Europe. Yeah, I think it's just going to be more of a very strong low pressure than a hurricane or anything like that. But you can see we are starting to see between 950 and 960 showing up, and that's not a good thing. That's pretty strong low pressure there. But here's Dorian on satellite. You can see the eye is falling apart. It was very clean eye, very impressive eye earlier yesterday, but now it is just falling apart. At least this thing is now starting to move. I did not mean to do that. Let's go back. Tropical Storm 7. This is actually, this is what it looks like. It's a pretty large storm. I probably should not even done that. It never loads. But it is a pretty large storm, as you can see here. We are getting effects from Tropical Storm 7 or Fred, whatever it's called. I cannot pronounce it. But it's a very large storm, but it's got a limited time on it. You can tell by the models it starts to die down in the next 24 or so hours. We got a couple models keeping a tropical storm status, but I kind of doubt it. I've done it again. Why does it do that? I don't know why it's doing that. It should not do that. Let's go back here. But there's Tropical Storm 7. You can see the tracks that tried to bring it towards Texas, but it seems like at this point it's going to go into Mexico, and probably the main threat with this is going to be some wind, a little bit of wind, and probably a little bit of rain. Got Hurricane Juliet going on out of the Pacific. It is going to be expected to be a major hurricane. It will head right towards Hawaii, but it should die down before it even gets there. And I think, okay, here's the invest. Here's the storm that has a 90% chance. You can see the models are kind of all over the place with the intensity of the storm. We can see some staying tropical depression and some can stay in tropical storm. It does have some favorable waters out ahead of it. Here's the differences, and this has a lower chance of development. We have a couple models going into tropical storm status, and most of them staying tropical depression, but as you can see here, no threat to land at this point. The U.S. will not have any threat to land. Here's the European model right now. We got Hurricane Juliet there, Tropical Storm 7. We got Hurricane Dorian. And we got this system out here and another system out here. Very busy. For the National Hurricane Center, was going to skip it to Wednesday. You can see Dorian really starts to get close to the coast. You can see it starts to get closer, gain some strength a little bit. You can see it reaches the Carolinas by Thursday. Then it starts to shoot pretty fast. You can see wind gusts could be a little bit intense there. And you can see it shoots out that way. We'll see here's the storm right here that has a 90% chance. And that tropical storm that's over here looks to be, it could be right up here, maybe. No, it just completely dies out. Okay. So there goes that system. We're watching a system coming out of here, and it seems like that is it right there. You can see it starts to gain strength quite a bit. And looks like we can have another system developing. We'll see what the GFS suggestion is. It seems like it's only showing one storm, and it's going to be this one right here. So right now we are keeping an eye on something that'll be coming out here pretty soon. But again, it is pretty far out, so forecast confidence on this is pretty low. You can tell by wind gusts here. It's probably a little bit weaker than the models are showing, especially for these models here, since they're not that high res or anything. I could say this one here is probably more a Category 1 hurricane than a tropical storm at this point, because it's got a lot of favorable waters out ahead of it. Dry air, the only area I can see some dry air issues is in here, in the Eastern Caribbean there. So yeah, no forecast today. So yeah, if y'all got any questions, you could put it in the chat. About to end it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this tropical update. If y'all did like this video or live stream, hit that like button. If you really do like the channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell notification, never miss an upload. If y'all have any questions, link into this as a video, you can put it in the comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next one.